This review brought to you by Kung Fu Pizza. Kung Fu Pizza. When you need a pick-me-up, because you can't put a lot of emotion into your reviews, because you're reading off a script, and you would use text, but Asalieri doesn't like text. I'm such a failure. Some of you may find it weird. I'm doing a review on a game like Kung Fu. It is short, sweet, and simplistic. However, I personally feel this game doesn't get enough notoriety. It sets the stage for countless beat-em-ups. Something like this was rarely seen at the time. I'm not saying Kung Fu invented the genre, but it certainly was one of the first to help make it the powerhouse it is today. Just like how Mario wasn't technically the first platformer, but is still regarded as such, I feel the same way about Kung Fu and beat-em-ups. Also, it's the closest thing we're going to get to a video game version of the Bruce Lee movie Game of Death on the NES. And I love me some Game of Death. How could I not look into it? Kung Fu, or Spartan X in Japan, is actually an NES port of an arcade game by the same name. It's ported very well. I mean, everything is pretty spot on. Music, enemies, bosses. They even kept in the Bruce Lee chicken clucks the main character makes. If I do say so myself, I actually like the NES clucks a little better. The story is pretty standard. Big Bad captures your love interest. You don your kickin' ass shoes, toss on your karate gi, get a quick bite to eat at the Mama Said Knock You Out diner, and head out the door in order to save her. So you go floor to floor, defeating henchmen that swarm towards you in droves. Games like Final Fight, and even games like God of War would later implement the shit ton of enemies charging at you system. You have two attacks, a punch and a kick. You can duck and jump, and that's more than enough to finish these guys off. It's always so satisfying when you can cut through your countless opponents like butter. One of the high points of this game is the levels go on just long enough. I can't tell you how many beat-em-ups I've played, where by midway through the level I was begging for the background and music to change, because the redundancy was getting to be too much. There are three types of henchmen: normal foot soldiers, annoying midgets who love to somersault and hop on your head, and knife-throwing fellows. Pretty good amount of variety. At the end of each level you face a boss with a certain specialty. To beat them, you must master the techniques you are given at the start of the game. You aren't beating these bosses without examining their weak points and implementing the right amount of defense and offense. How awesome is that? The first boss wields a sword. Here you need to hone your speed and back away just before he strikes, and then rush in for the kill. Boss number 2 has a boomerang. Here you'll have to duck and jump at just the right time, or else end up knocked out. Boss number 3 is a black Asalieri? Joking. To conquer this foe, you need to be wary of his size and how big your hitbox is. Boss number 4 is a goblin-like creature. Igor, perhaps? This is all about dodging while giving chase. The 5th and final boss is the man who stole your lover. Meet the Dark Link to our hero. He has all the abilities you do. All of the techniques you have used thus far will have to be used in a precise manner to finish this guy. At the end, you reunite with your girlfriend and go home. Or maybe out to dinner at a fancy restaurant or something. I don't know. Come to think of it, maybe this guy should have called the proper authorities or something. That dude just is going to get up and capture a girl whose boyfriend isn't a martial arts expert. Keep in mind this was an arcade game, meaning it's short and the level cycle getting progressively harder until you die. Even if you don't enjoy this normally, just give this game a go and beat the first set of levels. You won't regret it. It's time for the first edition of cool information I couldn't find a place for in the review. Did you know the Muscle Tower Saga in Dragon Ball was inspired by this game? Toriyama played a crap ton of it and loved how you went floor to floor and faced different enemies. A game inspired by a movie inspired a saga of a manga that was inspired by a Chinese legend. Overall, an incredibly fun, groundbreaking game that still holds up even today. Double Dragon, Final Fight, and Streets of Rage all have Granddaddy Kung Fu to thank for helping pave the path for our kick-ass genre.